Listen, the type of day that I've been having, y'all, like, I just went live on my personal page and not my business page. And I was wondering why I was seeing some different options than what I normally see. And it was because I was live on my personal page instead of my business page. But anywho, what's up? It's your girl, Sean, the homeschool guru. And I am coming to you again for another day of free homeschool coaching, right? Like, I'm here again, another day. It'll be a total of 30 days. I'm not quite sure what day it is right now. I don't know if it's 13 or 14, but I have been live every single day except for one. And that was because my internet was out. And y'all listen, so y'all know all week I've been complaining. I'm having issues with my internet. One night I couldn't even sign on, right? And I thought maybe it was because of the influx of everybody being online, because, you know, everybody's online right now. Everybody's working from home or they're schooling from home. But I called AT&T today and got the lady on the line, and the lady was like, I'm sorry, Mrs. Taylor, there's an outage in your neighborhood, and, you know, we're not sure when the ETA is, when it'll get corrected, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, none of the neighbors have mentioned that there is a power, like there's an outage of internet at all. So I think that's strange, and it didn't sit well with me. And at the end of the call, y'all, she was like, excuse me, Mrs. Taylor, may I ask you a question? And I said, sure. And she goes, are you satisfied with your with the services that I provided? And I was like, I guess, because I was thinking in my head, like, I don't really believe her. I don't think that the services are all out in my neighborhood, but that's what she's saying. And maybe she's seeing something that I'm not seeing. I got off the phone with her or whatever and sat there and thought about it for a minute, and it just didn't sit well with my spirit. So then I called back to AT&T and spoke to somebody 45 minutes later. And the lady was like, I don't even know why she told you that there's a power outage in your neighborhood. It's just your box. There's nothing wrong with the neighborhood, the line outside. Y'all, so this lady lied to me to get me off the phone, and I wasn't even being rude or anything like that. I was like, ma'am, our internet has been acting funny. We have been offline since yesterday. We have, you know, a business that we run. We have a homeschool that we do. So we really depend on our internet, and it wouldn't be such an issue if we weren't, you know, staying at home. And we could go to another facility and use their internet, but unfortunately we can't. Like, I wasn't even being mean to her. She lied to me anyway, y'all. She told me that the internet was out in the whole neighborhood to get rid of me, child. Like, that's funny to me. It didn't even make me mad. It just made me laugh because I was like, the nerve of her. But anyway, so I'm with you today for another free day of homeschool coaching. If you're coming in, say, hey, what's up, and let me know that you're here. If you're new, throw me some hearts. If you're old, throw me some hearts. Also, to the Guru Click members, go ahead and hashtag Guru Click. Hey, Tiana, how you doing? So one of the things we want to talk about more than anything is I was conversing with somebody today, and she is working from home, right? With all of the stuff that's going on. Never made a choice to homeschool. That was not her option. That's not something that she wanted to do. But with the pandemic going on and most of the school districts closing at least until mid-April, she has been forced into this role of educating her child at home. And she's just this has just really started for her this week. But she is already at her wit's limit. Like, she's already up to here. She's already up to here with her, with the way things are going. She's already had enough. She's stressed. She's trying to fulfill her obligations as far as her employer is concerned. And then she's also trying to fulfill her obligations as a mommy and now as a home educator. And so she's stuck. She's extremely stuck. And so what I want to tell you more than anything else, and this is for anybody, right? I know that a lot of you were thrown into this position, right? I know that this is something that you did not plan. Hey Lisa, how you doing? Hey Theron. Oh, thanks for joining me. How you doing? I know this is something that you weren't planning on doing. Like, for me, it was more so of, you know what, we're going to do this. I'm going to research. We got this. But for a lot of parents right now, it's like, holy crap, we have been pushed into this and I'm not sure how I'm going to get it all done. Let me tell you something. More than anything else, your mental health and your child's mental health is more important than anything else. I know that may seem weird. I know that may seem odd, but your mental stability, you being able to mentally be okay during the situation is the most important thing. And so let me be very honest with you. If it means while you're doing this, so while you're working from home and you have to home educate your child, if it means that you don't necessarily get to do all the meetups, Google Classrooms, the Zoom meetings, or whatever the case may be for your child's so-called education, if you don't get to do that versus anything else, I would just say don't worry about it. Like, it's not... Because the fact of the matter is they're not going to hold you back. They're not going to hold the babies back. That's the truth. They're not. Okay, unless your child was already failing, your child was already doing, terrible in classwork or whatever the case may be, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to hold the child back. So that's the first thing. Rhythm, right? Find the things that work for you. I suggest more than anything else, block scheduling. That is very important. If you are working from home, as you guys know, I have 3 businesses. So we have a catering business, a logistics business, and then I do homeschool coaching. And the only way that I'm able to keep my sanity in any time whatsoever is by setting up blocks. And so basically what that means is I set up 2 to 3 hour blocks, sometimes 4-hour blocks to do whatever it is I'm going to do. I wake up early in the morning and do about 3 hours a block on our logistics business, right? And then the kids get up and I work about 2 hours with them straight on homeschooling and maybe a little bit of the logistics. Once that's done, then I focus fully on homeschooling and then maybe add a little bit of the coaching business into the end of that. And the catering business is different because it's kind of really seasonal for us. So that's not an everyday thing for us. But the other 2 businesses are an everyday thing for us. What I would say is set up your blocks, right? And set up a schedule, but also hold yourself to that schedule. Also hold people accountable for respecting your schedule. So that means that for me, when it's time for me to sit and work at my desk, my kids are not allowed to interrupt me unless they're dying, bleeding, all that good stuff. They know my kids are older, so they're not younger. My kids are 16, 13, and 10, so they're able to take care of themselves, and the older 2 are able to take care of the younger one. But there is an amount of respect that I'm working with them on. When mom is here in the office working, I need you to respect that. Don't come knocking on the door asking me, can you have chips? Don't walk past your dad and come in here and ask me anything. He is capable. And this is the conversation my children and I have all the time. Your dad is able and he is willing to answer any question that I can answer. As a matter of fact, he may answer it better than me. Ask your dad. They will walk past him, guys. The way our house is made, in order to get from the bedroom area or to get from the playroom area to the office, you have to go through the living room. Or you have to pass by our bedroom, like either or. And my husband is usually in the living room or he's in the bedroom. So in order for you to come to me, you have to pass my husband. You have to pass dad. And so the conversation becomes, and it's constant, guys, like we always have this conversation. Listen, I need you to do me a favor. Dad is able and he is willing to answer any question that I can answer. Please go ask your dad. And then when they come knock on my door, sweetheart, I understand. I get it. But remember what I said. This is mom's work time. I've got to get this done. I will, be with you later. I will schedule some time with you later. I will take you bike riding. I'll do whatever it may be, right? That's how I play it. So let me look. Hey, Denny. Lesson Trek is a great way to keep track of your schedule. It is. Lesson Trek is good as well. So what Lesson Trek is, what Denny is talking about is, it's basically a online planner and you can print off the lessons if you want to. But that's what we use around our house. I'm scheduling their lessons. They know every day. There's a notebook. Speaking of, where's my notebook? Child, they done did something with it. But there's a notebook and every day I sit it on the table. It's got their lessons printed for the week. So they're not asking me every single day, Mom, what are we doing today? It has field trips scheduled on there. It has basketball practice, soccer games, basketball games. It has all their lessons on it. It has trips to the library. It has band. It has everything on there. All they have to do is open up that notebook and it'll tell them what they're doing for the day. So that prevents that question. So Lesson Trek is absolutely wonderful. And not only that, I like it because I can print it for them, but I can also look at it on my phone. They do not have an app, so I go online and look at it online on my phone. But if for any reason I am behind or maybe I didn't grab the lesson plan, I can always look there. So Lesson Trek is a very good resource. Tiana says, same. Lord, my husband will be sitting right there and they'll walk past him and come right to me. They all do it, Tiana, and I have absolutely no idea why they do that. Actually, let me stop lying. I asked my kids why, and they said because the probability of me saying yes is a lot higher than dad saying yes. So dad will probably say no more than I will say yes. That's why they do it. So we basically, it's a work in progress. Are there some days when they interrupt me? Absolutely. I think, was it yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. So it was Tuesday. Tuesday, y'all, I was doing a live. Like I had a meeting. I was talking to a group of people about it, and my kids were sitting in the background. There's their schoolwork area here, and there's an area right here. And my littlest one was crawling behind the thing while I was talking live, trying to give a presentation to a group of people. And so we had to have a conversation about that. Listen, you're old enough to understand what is acceptable behavior and what's not acceptable behavior. At this time, this was not acceptable behavior, and this is why. Because people are wanting my time. People are paying for me to pay attention to them and dedicate my time to you, and I want them to be respectful. I want you to be respectful of that. So that's something to think about. Yes, I know that it's difficult, y'all. I know. I promise you. This is what I do all day. I understand that it is difficult, but you're going to have to make your children understand that there are boundaries and they have to respect them. And even for the little ones, start small. Of course, I can have my 10-year-old sit for 30 minutes and not cause a ruckus and tear up stuff, right? I can do that. But if he was 5 or 6, that would be a lot to ask. But you know what I would do? I would use the other siblings to help. That's another tip. So in that instance, when you're trying to work and little Bobby is acting a fool, child, Bobby is tearing up paper, throwing stuff around, jumping off the couch, flipping, calling your name, mama, 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 and you have older siblings, you take that opportunity to get those older siblings to take care of little Bobby while you're trying to do whatever it is that you need to do for work. Another thing that I use, I tell you guys all the time, I wake up about 3 hours before my children. So I wake up earlier so that I can get more work done. And I stay up later so I can get more work done. So if this is you, you have a regular 9 to 5, so your hours are set. If it's possible without disturbing your sleep schedule too much or their sleep schedule too much, maybe put them to bed a little bit later so that they wake up a little bit later and you're able to get more work done during those hours. Y'all let me know if this is helping y'all out. Y'all let me know if you have any questions about this, but this is probably the biggest concern is how do I handle it all? How do I do everything? How is it possible? And that is what I do. Block scheduling is the biggest things. If you have littles and you don't have like an older sibling to keep them busy, you don't have a husband or anything like that or anyone like that to assist with that, try busy boxes, which is something really big in the homeschool community that a lot of people use. And basically it's manipulatives, but it's fun, and they basically it distracts them, to be honest with you. Yes, they can learn, yes, they can do different things, but there's all different types of activities that they can do that will help them while they are sitting there and you're trying to work. So y'all let me know if this is making sense. Throw me some hearts or some likes if this is making some sense. If it's not making sense, tell me it's not making sense, Sean. I need more information and I'll go deeper into it. Like this is the time to talk. Let's see. They are integrating with Google Calendar, I believe. Oh, Lesson Track is? I'm not too excited about that. But I don't really use Google like that. Right? Mine says, hell, he'll say no. Exactly. My kids know that dad will just say no, especially if dad is not aware of how I feel about it or if something else is in place. He'll just flat out say no just to protect himself from hearing me say, well, why'd you let them have that? They know better. You know that this is what they're supposed to be doing. Dad'll say no because I don't want mom to say this, or what would mom say? So since I don't know what mom is going to say, I'm just not going to do it. So again, y'all let me know if this is making sense. I'm giving you tools and options to help you while you are working from home during this pandemic, and you are also educating your children at home. So y'all let me know if you have any questions or if this is making sense. Just shoot me some hearts, some likes if it's making sense. If it's not making sense, just put it in the comments. I don't get it. Or I tell you what, you may not want me to see your name, right? You may not want me to see you. So if it's not making sense, do an angry face. Hey, Charity. So if it's making sense, do a thumbs up and hearts, right? If it is not making sense, do a thumbs down or angry face. And if it's angry face, that means you don't get it at all. Like I'm way off target for you. So let me know, okay? Yes, it allows you to add your lesson track schedule with your phone calendar. Well, see, I don't have Google, so I got an iPhone, so that doesn't do anything for me. I don't like that at all. But yeah, so let me know. It's awesome for me because I quickly forget unless it's on the calendar on my phone. Oh, okay. That doesn't work for me, but maybe, we're talking about lesson track. So that was one of the ways that you can keep up with the school assignments. And then another thing too is, y'all, I don't want you to, I'm trying to find a nice way to say this. I don't want you to be scared of taking control or taking advantage of the freedom that you have to educate your children while this pandemic is going on. You have to advocate for your child, okay? Let me explain something. Here's an issue for us as far as homeschoolers, right? We homeschool all day long, right? We sit there 4 hours, 4 to 5, 6 hours, homeschooling our children. Once they're done with their lessons, they are done for the day, okay? We don't homeschool our children for 4 to 6 hours, and then our child comes home and does 2 to 3 hours of homework. That's not how homeschooling works. It is unrealistic for you to have to work a full-time job and home educate your children for 4 to 6 hours, and then come back, right, and do homework for 2 to 3 hours. That is unrealistic. You have to, as the parent, advocate for your child, okay? You have to say to them, listen, I will have my child do the schoolwork. I will have my child be in the Google Classroom. I will have my child in the Zoom meetings. However, we are not going to sit at home for 2 to 3 hours and do homework. That is not what we're going to do. You have to be willing to stand up for your child. Now, what this means, though, is that in the long run, they may say to you, well, Mrs. Taylor, you refuse to do the homework or you refuse to do this, so we're not quite sure what level your child is on. Here's the thing. If you refuse to do those things, you still have to educate your children, but you educate them in a different way. So you just have to prove to them that your child is still learning, right? Not that they're just sitting on their behinds all day long, which you can do, okay? It is unfair. Guys, this whole situation is unfair. And to be honest with you, this situation, more than anything, shows the flaws of the public school system than it did before. And again, I am not the homeschool coach that has a fit and talks about, public school system sucks. Don't put your child in there. That's not my regime. Like, that's not how I feel. But I am the type of person to be real with you and tell you honestly that the best thing you can do is advocate for your child. And if you are sitting there overwhelmed and stressed out, your child is feeling the same thing. I promise you, if you're sitting there trying to get your work done, trying to make sure they're signed on, trying to make sure they're good to go, you and your child are feeling the same thing. Advocate for your children. Yes, do the schoolwork if you need to. Okay, do the packets, do the Zoom room, do the classroom, do all that stuff. But all that extra stuff, y'all, if it's too much, then it's just too much. It is your decision. These kids can't advocate for themselves. They can't say to the teacher, Mrs. Taylor, this is too much work. And once we're done with class, I'm spending 2 and 3 hours on homework. They can't do that. But you can, Mama. You can, Daddy. Stand up. Stand up. Respectfully. Mrs. Taylor, I appreciate all you're doing, and I know that you're under some strenuous requirements, and I know that this is what you have to do because this is what your district is requiring you to do. However, my husband and I have decided that this is not going to work for our children. So we will be at the classroom. We will participate in the assignments. My child will have all those turned in. But as far as doing the extra, we won't be doing that. Be clear. Be crystal clear about what it is that you're going to do and what you're not going to do. It is unfair. I can't say it again. It is unfair for you guys to go home and work a 9 to 5 and then have to home educate your child. It's unfair. Y'all didn't sign up for it. And you have to consider that. Another option, again, I will talk about it. So say none of that's an option for you, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to buck the system. You don't want to stand up. You don't want to advocate. You just want to get it done, right? So another thing is I have clients who work full-time jobs. I've talked about this before. I have a client who is a nurse. Well, her situation is a little different now because, nurses are all working like crazy. But her typical schedule is Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. She only works Wednesdays from I think it's 7 to 7 or something like that. I think that's right. 7 to 7, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is her schedule. The way that she does it is, okay, she does Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She works all day, okay? Monday, she comes home and she rests. She gets rest. She doesn't do anything else. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is when she homeschools her children, okay? So that's when she does the actual education side. And then she starts back over on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some of those days may carry over. She requires that her family assist in some of the household duties. And that's another thing too as well. When you get older kids who are able to assist and help, make sure that they are contributing to the family. The way that our family is built, everybody is responsible for a piece of making the family work, right? Everybody contributes to the well-being of the family. That's my motto. Everybody contributes to the well-being of the family. So that means cooking, that means cleaning, that means laundry, that means running errands if you can. That means sharing some of the educational duties. Everybody contributes to the well-being of the family. It should not be your responsibility as the wife and the mother to cook, to clean, to work your normal 9 to 5, and to make sure the kids have all the schoolwork done. That's not your responsibility alone, okay? The kids need to take some responsibility for some of that cooking and that cleaning. The kids need to take some of the responsibility for their own work, especially as they get older. I shouldn't have to tell you, Sweet Pea, go log on. You have class at 10 o'clock. If you're a teenager or if you're in middle school, you should be able to set an alarm. Most teenagers have some type of alarm, whether it's a phone or something to that effect. But they should be able to say, let me set an alarm for this course so that I can be in class on time enough. Don't take on that responsibility. So that's a side note. So we're talking about different shifts. So the nurse is working from 7 to 7, right? So her schedule is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She works all day. Excuse me. Monday, sleep day, right? It's sleepy time. It's time to knock it out, get some good rest. Okay, get caught up, refreshed, try to get as renewed as possible. Okay, then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, she works. Okay, so she does homeschool with them, not work. She does homeschool. So that is how her day goes. Let's see. I have to have it on paper, Ella. Yeah, we all do. 3 days, 12-hour shifts is how it generally works. Exactly. Thank you, Charity. So that's how she does her schedule. Okay. So I have another client. The way that she works is her husband works a normal schedule. Let's just say 9 to 5, right? She's there with the kids. Okay. Then he comes home and then she leaves at 6 and works from 6 to whatever hours that there is. Then she sleeps for the day. The way they choose to do their homeschool is they do it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They only school 4 days a week. Okay, because dad is running around taking care of the kids that evening. He may do some school lessons here and there, but as far as doing full-fledged school, he doesn't do that until the weekends. And because she's working nighttime, that's when they decide to do it. The beauty of homeschool, again, is the freedom. Hey, Holly. We have incredible freedom to pick whatever schedule we need to pick when it's time to do our work. I've told you, my daughter, 16 years old, I don't have to tell her to get her work done. She gets up whenever she gets up, and maybe before me sometimes, and finishes her schoolwork for the day, and then she's done for the day. She just does her daily chores, and she's about her day. My boys are not early birds, so they do theirs around 10 or 11 o'clock. I do have to get on them a little bit more than I have to get on her. But still, the ball is in their court. If they wanted to, like this week, they decided in the middle of the day, man, they were tired. Mom, can we take a nap? We're going to take a nap around lunchtime, and then we'll come back and do our schoolwork. Fine. You want to take a nap? Go take a nap. So they slept for about an hour and a half, and then they got up, fixed them some lunch, and came back to work. Now, what that meant to them was that they weren't able to get to their freebie stuff. So they weren't able to go play outside. They weren't able to go, do any of that because they hadn't finished their schoolwork, and they didn't finish it until 7 o'clock at night. But that was a choice that they made. So you guys have to think about that when you're doing these things working from home. What works for you? If you are a parent who doesn't have the schedule where the child has to join the Zoom room and the Google Classroom and all that good stuff. If you don't have that type of schedule, then try schooling later on when you get off, or try doing school during lunch. I know that there are some, for instance, I'm going to snitch on Charity. For instance, Charity, the way she does it is during her lunch period, okay, after working her normal, doing her normal thing, during lunch period, she takes that lunchtime to homeschool her son. You have all different options. It doesn't have to be done the way that you think it has to be done. So that is definitely something to think about. We do a 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., 12 a.m. to 1 p.m., 5 p.m. till done, due to daycare hours. Exactly. So there you go. Charity just told her. She just snitched on herself and I didn't even see it. So the way her schedule works is because she owns a daycare, right? So she gets up in the morning with her son and she works with him from 5 to 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Then she takes care of daycare kids. And when it's lunchtime, nap time, then she goes back and helps him and assists him with homework, right? Then once the babies start leaving to go home with their parents, then they come back and they finish their homeschool day. It doesn't have to be the way that you think it needs to be. Fit it to your schedule. If that works for you, if your child needs to wake up at 5 o'clock and is okay with waking up at 5 o'clock to do their schoolwork, fine, do it. Do whatever works for you. If your child likes the split shift like that, fine. Do what works for you. As long as they're getting what they need, it doesn't matter how it's coming. So it doesn't matter that they're not working every single day. I mean, even still, I imagine Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Instead of just flat out telling your child's teacher what you're not going to do, like, Mrs. Taylor, what we not finna do is, instead of doing that, I want you to have a conversation with the teacher and say, well, Mrs. Taylor, because based off of my work schedule and the demand of my job, it's going to be difficult for Johnny to make his classes, his Google Classroom. Is it possible to watch the replays later on? Is it possible for us to just do the work on the side and he can turn it in? Is it possible to get all this information later? Communicate with your teacher, because the fact of the matter is these teachers are under just as much stress as you are, because they are educating their children and educating your children at the same darn time. Same darn time. Okay, so they're stressing out just as much as you are, right? You're sitting there panicking because you have your regular 9 to 5 and you have to educate them. But imagine being that teacher sitting there educating 20 to 25 students via Zoom or via WebMax or whatever it is, trying to educate them and still having to get off of there and educate their own child. Okay, so they're going through the exact same stress that you're going through. And I'm not even gonna say exact, they're going through more, in my opinion. And that's being said. And I'm in a few teacher groups, and that's what they're saying. Like, hey, I'm trying, but I'm stressing out. I'm trying, but I am stressing out. And so have that open conversation with your teacher. Mrs. Taylor, these Zoom classes are kicking my behind. I cannot be on a Zoom meeting with my boss and my son be in a Zoom classroom or a Google Classroom at the same time. Like, it is stressing me out. What are some options that I have? Can we watch the replay? Can you send us the work and we'll get it done and we'll turn it in later? What options do we have? Communicate it, because if it's a true teacher, a teacher that loves babies, a teacher that wants them to succeed, a teacher that has a heart for educating children, they will do their absolute best to make sure that the child has what they need. Honestly, if it is a true teacher, a teacher who has a heart for babies and has a heart for education, they will do whatever it takes to make sure their child understands. Because when they take on those kids, if you hear them, y'all, I talk to them all the time. These are my babies. These are my babies. I miss my babies. I can't see them every day. I miss this. I miss that. These are their children. When they care, when they're passionate about educating children, they will do whatever it takes to make it happen. And so communicate with those teachers and tell them, what are my options? What can I do? Does he have to be present for the Zoom meeting or the Google? It's not Google Meetup. Is that what it's called? Does he have to be present? Does Johnny have to be present, or can we just watch the replay? Does he have to be there? Like, what options do I have? And then if it comes to Mrs. Taylor saying, I'm really not sure, I think he does have to be here, and then say, you know what, thank you, I appreciate it, and then go to the principal. Hi, Mr. Johnson, this is what I need. I'm trying hard, but I'm struggling. Does my child have to be here for these courses? Can we do something else? Can we watch the replays? Is there any other option? Y'all, just ask, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Just ask. Then he says, also for those with children who have sensory needs, meeting sensory needs can be incorporated with lessons. Absolutely. So Denny, you are absolutely correct. Denny is the queen of all of this. So if you have a child that has some sensory needs, some things that goes on, incorporate those into the lesson to make them a lot better for them. Right? Denny's same got darn time. Got darn time. Same got darn time. Hey, Karen. Hey, Danique. Let's see. My daughter's school is doing Monday through Thursday specials 9 to 9:30. Let's see. Monday, Wednesday, 11, 5, Tuesday. Holy crap. And they are using Microsoft Teams. And how's that going for you, Danique? I know that this has been your first week, so tell me, how's that going? Charity said, I called on behalf of one of my second graders. As long as I can scan her work and email to her, she doesn't have to be present. We're a day behind, but her mom is a Don. What is that? And getting her butt handed to her. Tell me what that is. So there you go. Charity runs a daycare. And so instead of her, if they'll work with the daycare lady, they'll work with you. Right. Exactly. You're absolutely right. Good so far. The teachers are troopers. See, exactly, y'all. These teachers, a lot of the teachers that I've talked to are passionate and they love your babies. They want them to succeed. They are stressing. They are crying. They are upset. There was a teacher the other day and I saw in a group, like she was legit crying, just flat out crying about the fact that she was trying so hard to make it work for each child. And it was difficult. She felt her heart. Oh, director of nursing. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's getting her butt handed to her. So she was crying about that. Guys, these teachers want to help. They want these babies to succeed. They are worried about them just as much as you are worried. Communicate. Mrs. Taylor, hey, can we talk? Because I can't do these Zoom. I mean, even in the teacher was complaining. I told you the other day, her school district has her teachers taking attendance for every class period. So these kids are supposed to show up in their Google, I can't think of what it's called. It's not classroom. I keep saying that, but that's wrong because that's the other thing. But they're supposed to meet up, right? Every single day for every class period, right? And each teacher has to take attendance for each child. Y'all, some of these teachers have 150 students total. So at the beginning of class, they have to take roll for every single class. So you switch to math, you take attendance. You switch to science, you take attendance. Every single time. Y'all, they are stressing out just like you are. They are stressing you, I promise. The kids are the funny ones trying to make it work. I know it's too much. It's too much. And I'm looking at your schedule, Danique, and it's not too bad. Y'all are done by 2:00 and it looks like y'all have a nice little break there. I like how y'all have it separated too. So you do specials Monday through, let's see, 9 to 9:30, Monday, Wednesday, ELA, Tuesday, Thursday, 10. See, that's a pretty good schedule right there because you're not spending all day doing that. That's a good schedule, Denise. Absolutely. So y'all let me know. This is your free coaching. So y'all let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you're thinking. Again, if this is making sense to you, if you understand, throw me some hearts or some thumbs up. If this is not working for you, you don't get it, you don't understand, do some down, like thumbs down, and do some mad faces. This is really not working for you. Let me know, okay? I need to know. Tell me what you need. This is what I'm here for. Oh, tell me what you need. So if it's working for you, say, yep, Sean, this is working for me. This sounds good, right? But if it's not working for you, do me some thumbs down or do me some angry faces like, girl, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Just tell me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You know what I'm going to say? Okay, what do you need to know? I'm going to ask you what you need to know. Because again, guys, this is your free homeschool coaching. You have me free until probably another couple minutes, and then I'm going to jump on Instagram. But you have me now. So ask me, right? And I'll be back with you every single day up until 30 days. I have no idea where we are on our 30 days. I'm going to have to go back and look. I think we're on day 13 or 14. But we're doing 30 days of going live every single day, talking about this journey that we're all going on right now. Because today, I ain't gonna lie, it sucks. Like I said, today our internet was down. If you missed in the beginning, our internet is down. And my first thought process, because we don't always do schoolwork at home, we like to go to Panera Bread and sit because the Wi-Fi is free. We like to go to Starbucks because the Wi-Fi is free. We like to go to the library. We like to go to all different types of places because the Wi-Fi is free. And so when our Wi-Fi went down today, I was like, okay, no problem. We'll just pack up and we'll go to Panera Bread today to do schoolwork. And then it dawned on me that we're at the stay at home safe, order. So we can't go. They've closed down the restaurants. Let's see. I'm very thankful for you. The school is doing much better than I expected, but I'm still using all your tips. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Denny. It sounds like you're doing better. The schedule is a lot better than what other teachers and what other students are dealing with right now. But y'all keep hope alive. I ain't gonna lie. I know that sounds cliche, but take your time. Remember, day by day, just step by step, minute by minute, until you can make it through. You're trapped too. Yeah, just be mindful day by day, step by step, right? And then as you move forward and you gain whatever your footing, whatever the case may be, it gets better. There are days where it'll be a struggle. Yesterday, I told y'all last week, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Yesterday was a rough day for me. And that happens, but that's a part of it, right? That's a part of the journey. Just remember that you have brand new mercies. So take the good with the bad. Those things that are good, take it, right? And move forward with them. Those things are bad, remove them and learn from them. And move forward. Like you can do this. I promise you can do this, y'all. This is coming from a woman who had no plan to homeschool, who did not have confidence in herself in the beginning that she could homeschool, who sometimes still struggles with confidence, right? Sometimes I still struggle with that. Like sometimes I still talk to myself like, man, can I really do this? And then I hear myself say, girl, you were already doing it. What are you talking about? Okay. Y'all can do this. I promise you can do this. Listen, so I'm going to jump off of here. If you want to continue the conversation, join me on Instagram under the same handle, Sean the Homeschool Guru. Some things to remember, right? So the Multi-Ethnic Homeschooling Moms Conference is going on right now. Early bird registration. Go to SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com/MHMC. To get tickets there. Early bird ends in 2 days, and I suggest that you get it now because it's going to, with all of the products, it's over $1,000 in the swag bag. There are over 50 sessions. It's amazing sessions. So with that said, I suggest that you grab that before early bird ends because it's going to jump up in price for sure. So SeanTheHomeschoolGuru.com/MHMC. And then I would like for you to go over to my website as well because the Homeschool Summit is there, right? That one is also Sean the Homeschool Guru /Homeschool Summit, all one word, Homeschool Summit. If you go there, you'll find the information on the Homeschool Summit. That is currently $12, but you have lifetime access on that as well. And that's a different online conference. That one is geared more towards families who are transitioning into homeschool right now. That's what that's geared towards. Whereas the Multi-Ethnic Homeschool Moms Conference is for people who are actually homeschooling. So Multi-Ethnic Homeschool is for homeschooling moms. The Homeschool Summit is more for people who are transitioning into the session. And so in those sessions, I have several sessions, right? So I have how to transition to homeschooling. I walk you through that step by step. How to work and homeschool successfully. I walk you through that one. And then my last session is how to create a co-op, right? So I give you all the information on that as far as that's concerned. So I will see you guys again tomorrow, Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Come over if you want to and join me on Instagram, Sean the Homeschool Guru. Thanks for joining me. See y'all in a minute, right? Bye, guys.